You've seen the pictures, right? These incredible golden spires reaching for the sky, those mythical serpents guarding the stairs. I'm talking about Thai temples, or Wats, and they are absolutely stunning. But here's the thing. Beyond all that beauty, there's a whole hidden language of symbols. So today, let's decode it together.
I mean, have you ever wondered what's the real story behind that giant golden statue? Or why are the roofs layered like that? Well, in this explainer, we are going to unlock all those secrets that are hiding right there in plain sight.
Okay, so first things first, what even is a Wat? Because it's actually way more than just a single temple building. Think of it more like a whole sacred world. Yeah, see, a real Wat isn't just one building. It's this whole complex, almost like a little village dedicated to Buddhist life and practice. And every single structure inside has its own very specific purpose. And for a place to officially get the title of Wat, it has to have these 4 essential parts. You've got the ubosot, the viharn, the chedi, and the kuti. If it's missing even one of these, it's technically called something else, like a monastery or a shrine. So these 4 are the real deal. All right, now let's start our virtual tour. And believe me, just approaching a Wat is a hugely symbolic act. It all kicks off right at the entrance. So as you get to the gate, you're usually met by these protectors. You'll often see these fierce-looking lion statues called singha. And they are not just there for decoration. No way. They're mythical guardians, and their job is to scare away any evil spirits and protect the sacred ground you're about to walk on. And this is one of the most iconic things you'll see, the Naga staircase. So you've got these mythical serpent spirits, the Naga, and their bodies actually form the handrails. As you climb up, you're literally holding onto the body of this mythical serpent god. It's not just about climbing stairs, you see. You're symbolically rising up from our human world into the heavenly realm. The Naga is basically your protector on this little spiritual journey. Okay, let's head into the heart of the temple complex now. This is where we find the 2 main halls, the ubosot and the viharn. Now, at first glance, they can look pretty similar, but trust me, their jobs are totally different. So you're standing there looking at these 2 big, beautiful halls. One is the super sacred ordination hall, and the other is the public assembly hall. How in the world can you tell them apart? Well, there's one simple, kind of secret clue. It all comes down to these things called semistones. You see, the ubosot, which is the most sacred building on the grounds, is always surrounded by 8 of these special boundary stones. The viharn, on the other hand, has none. 0. So if you can spot those stones, boom, you found the ubosot. It is the ultimate insider tip for sure. All right, now let's talk about the icons. I mean, the things that really define the temple's skyline and its spiritual heart. We're talking about those incredible soaring stupas and the magnificent Buddha statues. That golden chedi or stupa, you see, it is so much more than just a pretty tower. Inside, it actually houses holy relics, like from the Buddha or other revered monks. And its whole shape is symbolic. It represents the cosmic Mount Meru, the center of the universe, and also the enlightened mind of the Buddha himself. Pretty deep, right? And speaking of impressive, wow, the reclining Buddha at Wat Po in Bangkok is an absolutely staggering 46 meters long. To put that in perspective, that is nearly half a football field. It is a truly, truly awesome sight to behold. But here's a really common mistake people make. That reclining Buddha, he's not sleeping. He's actually entering what's called parinirvana. So what does that mean? Well, in Buddhism, nirvana is that state of perfect peace, totally free from suffering. Parinirvana is the final nirvana, the one you achieve at the moment of death. It means you're completely liberated from that endless cycle of rebirth. So really, it's a symbol of the most profound, ultimate peace you can imagine. And then you have Thailand's most revered image of all, the Emerald Buddha. And here's a fun fact for you. It's not actually made of emerald. It's carved from a single, massive piece of green jadeite. This statue is considered the protector of the entire nation, and it's so sacred that only the King of Thailand is allowed to touch it. And he does, 3 times a year, to change its little golden robes for the new season. How cool is that? Okay, so we've decoded a bunch of the symbolism, which is awesome. But now, how do we act when we actually visit? How can we be respectful guests? Well, it really all comes down to just being mindful. So here are the big ones to remember. First, dress modestly. That means covering your shoulders and your knees.
always take your shoes off before you go inside any of the buildings. And this is a really important one. Never, ever point your feet at a Buddhist statue or at a monk. It's considered very disrespectful. Just be mindful, keep your voice low and calm, and you're going to have an amazing, respectful visit.
So, if you really want to have a deeper experience, what should you do? Well, don't just rush in to snap a few photos and leave. Instead, try this. First, pause at the gate. Just acknowledge that you're entering a sacred space. Then, walk the grounds and see if you can find the ubosot. Remember, the one with the stones and the viharn. Circle the main chedi, always clockwise. And then go inside, sit down quietly, and just observe. Look at the main Buddha image, the murals on the wall. When you really engage with a temple like this, it stops being just a tourist site and becomes this incredibly profound spiritual experience. Because in the end, a Thai Wat isn't really made of stone and gold at all. It's made of wisdom. It's a story, it's a lesson, and it's a guide for living. So the real question is, when you visit, which part of its incredible story will you choose to read first?